Okay, so hi, and welcome to our next song that we're gonna next ukulele song that we're gonna learn how to play. And this one's gonna involve quite a few new chords. So I want first of all to kind of review all those chords and make sure you know what they are. The first one we kind of touched on in class a little bit is G. It looks like this. I got my middle finger on the first string, second fret. My pointer finger on the third string, second fret, and my ring finger on the second string, third fret. You see, if you remember, we had a G7 last time that looked like this. This is kind of the same shape, just reversed. We still got that triangle happening, only it's pointing in a different direction. There's my G7, there's our G. Suppose if you really want to, you could do the G this way too. It can come in kind of useful at times on the song. One thing try to avoid doing is this. As you can see, this requires twisting your hand, swirling them quite a bit around, and it can eventually lead to a lot of pain that we don't want to experience. So it's important to kind of keep that track. So this is your G chord. We got a C chord that I think you already know, which looks like this at the third fret. You might even want to think about doing it with your pinky if you're going from G to C. That way all the fingers don't have to move too much. Next we also have the D7 chord. D7 chord looks like this. I got my middle finger on the second string, second fret, and my pointer finger on the fourth string, second fret. You can do the chord using these two fingers, sometimes with my ring finger on the second string, second fret, and my middle finger on the fourth string, second fret. This could again come in useful, especially if we're going between G and D7. You see that these two fingers keep the same position. If you're using this G because you want to keep that G7 available for you, you can move these two fingers together, the middle and the ring finger, parallel together, just jump up one string, and you got your D7. And the last chord I think we got to address here is the A7, which is going to be the easiest one of them all. I just got one finger, my pointer finger on the third string, first fret. So these are the chords you're going to need to use for this song. And the first thing I would suggest is just take any combination of two chords in this and practice switching between them. G to C, G to C. What else we got? G to D7. We got G to A7. We got C to A7. We got A7 to D7. A7 to D7. So again, and there's a few other combinations. You kind of want to go through all of them, make sure you're comfortable switching between every one, and then we'll add the next step. We'll add it all into the context of the song. Okay, so the song has basically two sections. It has an intro and it has a coda, an ending, and has the verse. If we start, I'm going to start with the verse because everything else is going to be sort of hidden in there. The verse has two halves. The first half of the verse starts with a G chord. So we're going to do 4 measures of G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Next we're going to have 2 measures of a C chord. C chord, just this strong here, and again you can use the pinky, that way you can switch very easily. 2 measures of C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now so far on the first half of the verse, together the two chords that we have so far: G, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Next, we're going to have one measure of A7. Remember, that's the easy one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a measure of D7. These two fingers or these two fingers. I recommend using these two, and you'll see why in a minute. So altogether, we got 4 measures of G, 2 measures of C, 4 measures of G, 2 measures of C, 1 measure of A7, 1 measure of D7. Altogether, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4. So far, so good? Good. Take a break, and then we'll get back to the second half in a second. Second half of the verse starts kind of similar, but then goes some other directions. We start with 2 measures of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 2 measures of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then comes what I think is the most difficult switch in this song, going from C back to G. Because you gotta lift up one finger and put 3 different fingers back on. There's a lot of action going on, a lot of things you have to do. So we're gonna go 1 measure of G, 1 measure of D7, and then 2 measures of G again. Here it is. G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, back to G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. So altogether, the second half of the verse, remember, 2 G's, 2 C's, 1 G, 1 D7, 2 G's. Here it is. G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, first of all, let's put the 2 halves of the verse together so we have them flowing all the way through. So we're starting first half into the second half, no stopping. Here we go. G, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, D7, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Work your way up, combine all of that together, and then we'll move on to the next section. Next section is the bridge. There is a bridge here. I think I forgot to mention in the beginning that there's another little section called the bridge. It's actually not too difficult. One of the things that I want to point out in there, and I want to make it really strong here because it's very obvious, is the switch from D7 to G and back and forth between D and G7. Notice that I have the two fingers moving together parallel. I got my pointer finger here on the 4th string 2nd fret and my middle finger on the 2nd string 2nd fret, just skipping over one string, and then the only thing I have to add is the ring finger for the G chord. D7, two fingers move down, add the ring finger, G. If you want to use this G, you can go D7 and add the little finger, the pinky, for the G. Make sure you kind of work that out as you practice, so that's a smooth transition. Here's the bridge. It's going to be 2 measures of D7, 2 measures of G, back to 2 measures of D7, 1 measure of A7, 1 measure of D7. Here it is all together. D7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to D7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4. And that's your bridge. Intro. Intro is actually the same as the second half of the verse. Same chords, just played one time before to set up the song, to start the song. Once again, here it is really quickly. G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. So that's what I'm saying. If you knew the verse, you already knew how to play the intro. That saves you a lot of hassles. All that's left is the ending, the coda, as we say in music version. And really all the coda is repeat the last line, the last little 4 measures of the verse, and we're just going to repeat them one more time. So all that's going to happen when we finish the verse, the last 4 measures are G, D7, G, G, and we're just going to play that one more time to tag it out. With a little twist at the end, which I will demonstrate right now. So what we're going to do, the outro, the coda is basically G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, and 2 measures of G, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that I held that last G a little bit. Instead of strumming 4 times, I strummed it once and let it ring. Now we're also going to move one more little twist there at the end. On that last measure of G, or that second to last measure of G, we're going to put a little twist, so it's going to look like this. G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, C, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. Just that little twist makes a little cool little extra little tag at the end that's going to make it a little more interesting and fun. Once again, notice the quick switch that you have to do from G to C back to G, which is what I was talking about practicing a lot, because as you can see here, it kind of creeps up on you very quickly. Here it is again. 1 measure of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7, 2, 3, 4. G, half a measure, so it's only 2 strums. C, half a measure, so it's only 2 strums. G, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. Okay, so first of all, before we add anything else, One of the things, once you get comfortable with all the little sections, I want to talk a little bit about the strumming on this. We can strum simple. If this is hard enough, you can stay with the basic strumming on the beat, like we're doing always in class. If you can, and you're willing, and you have the time, and you're practicing a lot, you can try to do this. Adds a little more of a bounce to it. And what I'm doing, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let me break it down so it's really simple. First of all, I'm going to do one time I'm going to strum with the thumb, and then I'm going to strum with the fingers down. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're comfortable with that, what you can do is before the downstroke, when you move your hand up to hit the next downstroke, you can just kind of hit the strings with your pointer finger on the way up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Sorry, 1 and 2 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Make sure you practice this through all the way. Now, if it gets too crazy and too hard and too difficult, that's the last thing you want to work on. Make sure you get all the chords down with steady quarter notes on the beat strumming. And if you have the time and you master it quickly, try to add that. The key thing is to keep the song moving, so make sure you don't miss on that. All that's left together is just put all the sections together in order. So the way it's going to work, we're going to play the intro. Then we're going to play a complete verse. Then we're going to play the bridge. We're going to play again another verse. And we're going to play another bridge. Then we're going to play one more verse. And then we're going to play the little ending tag at the end. And I'm going to put the track and play along with it. And try to call out things as they come along. Hopefully I won't get too tongue twisted on this. Enjoy! 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Verse. C. A7. Second half of the verse. Bridge. Verse. Bridge. Here's the verse again, and this time after the verse we're going to go to the ending. Second half of the verse. Ending. That's the whole song.